the GTeX member of the month is the one and only Paula McNicholas. Give a whoop whoop to Paula McNicholas. Please, Paula, unmute your self.
Thank you.
We
oh
actually,
God,
let
I'm
me.
spotlighted.
You are spotlighted. I'm going to also others. Actually, yes. So we are the both of us here, and we're going to have this conversation. Now, the reason why you won the GTeX Member of the Month is because we worked together on the webinar, and it worked pretty well. Shall we say? And so what we want to share is a bit talk about first of all who you are and the business that you have, but in particular about what made a difference this webinar compared to other webinars, and the questions about the sales process, and so then everyone can see either things that they can be reminders for them, or can be also new tips that they can get out of this. So let's start with a quick introduction of you and your business. Paula, over to you.
Okay, well, I'm Paula McNicholas, and I'm best known for doubling the profits of law firms by finding the gaps and filling them, and getting the teams working as efficiently and effectively as the Formula One pit crew.
So
you like that one?
Yeah, I love the Formula One pit crew because that was one of the things that excited me the most when we work on your webinar, which you see how unique it is. So I want to start from there. One of the things that makes your work unique is that the way you've been able to combine your passion for Formula One and your passion for business. So talk more about that.
Well, yeah, I'd always used it in my training because it goes hand in hand. I mean, a pit stop is the ultimate in process precision and team harmony and trust. So I'd used that in my training. I'd used it in speaking gigs. And in using it as speaking gigs, at a regular speaking slot I was doing, I was building up a little bit of a fan base of people expecting me to talk about Formula One every month that I did it. And then there was a lawyer in New Jersey that said to me, God, you've got to go all in on this. And if you did a masterclass, he said, of this, I'd put it on my CLE platform, and you've got to be branding around it. So I thought, oh, go on then, because I do love it, and I do love speaking about it, and it really does blend, very well couples very well into what I do. So I started branding around it, and I created a masterclass, and the masterclass I ran in September, and I called it Run Your Law Firm Like a Formula One Team. And, I thought it was great. But, I'd say I was over teaching, and, it didn't get any sales, but then I wasn't selling on it for a start. I wasn't using a GTeX structure because I knew nothing about GTeX at the time. So I just did the masterclass as I thought was a good way to do it, like similar to what I was doing it back in a couple of, 2021 when everybody loved webinars and couldn't get enough of them. So yeah, I did that, and I was like, oh, maybe this is not a good idea after all. So then obviously I joined GTeX, and I was on the webinar conversion accelerator with the proper structure. And I met with Simone at the webinar review. And I said, I'm not sure whether I should be doing this Formula One webinar because it didn't do very well when I did it. And I said, I've got this other one that did very well a couple of years ago, and maybe I should do that. And I went through with them, and Simone was like, oh, no, that's rubbish. You've got to do the Formula One. So I jazzed up the Formula One masterclass webinar, whatever you want to call it, with the GTeX structure, and followed it exactly, because I thought, if this is a proven structure, if this is a proven process, if I join the coaching program, I'm going to follow the process, because if the process gets results, then why wouldn't you? So I did exactly what Simone told me to do. And he even came up with an offer, no-brainer offer, helped me with what that should be and how I should introduce it. So yeah, I did what he told me to do,
So
Um,
there are a few questions. Let's break this down because I want to start with one lesson for everyone here. Paula is incredibly passionate about Formula One, and she made actually a name for herself as well by using the metaphors of Formula One and how the pit crew runs it to how a business can run it. And I think this is a reminder for everyone here that who you are and your passion is really what makes you unique. Talking about things that are personal to you, that are important to you, and integrating it in your talks and workshops. When I saw the other webinar, with all due respect, Paula, the other one that you did, I was like, anyone else could have said those information, but only you could have made the connection so well with Formula One. And also when you were talking about it, you came alive when you talked about Formula One, and the other one was just going through the slides. So your heart wasn't there. And I think that is a reminder for you to integrate in the metaphors of the work that you do other things that you're passionate about, because they are the things that makes you come alive. And this is also a reminder for me, for example, to integrate more basketball thing. This is what makes me come alive also in my webinar presentation, which is something that I'm now planning to do for the future, because I don't do enough of that, but it's a huge part of my life. So this is the first reminder. The information and the content, anyone can deliver it, let's be honest. But the context and who you are and how you deliver it, that's what makes the entire difference. And so you got to really leverage on that and put some effort in that. So that's and the didgeridoo, exactly. That's for the live events. The didgeridoo is for the live events. I've tried online; it doesn't work really well. But that's the first lesson. The second thing that I want to talk about is the changes that we made in your offer, because we worked on your offer, made a few changes. Not that the offer that you had before didn't work, because you had clients before, but we made a few changes. So do you remember some of the changes that we made? And can we talk through those?
yeah. Well, before I was just going for asking for a call. It was just book a call at the end, and I was going for more of a higher ticket offer, not the introductory offer. So that was the difference. I wanted to sell on the webinar. I wanted to sell an introductory no-brainer, because the sales course, I would be the best one at that. Now we had to talk about that in the mastermind, in the mastermind thing, but so I wanted just to be able to land the offer and make a sale, rather than have to go through the sales call and all that stuff. So that's what I was doing before, and now I changed it to the no-brainer introductory offer.
And so you did the introductory offer, which is what's the offer? Break down the offer.
What, the price, or
Yeah, just the price and
is?
the outcome. The price and the outcome of the offer that you
Yeah.
saw.
Well, we picked just one problem that the lawyers have, which is delegation. They're no good at the delegation piece. So we call the offer delegation mastery, and it was just to solve that one particular thing. It was training in the delegation DRS system, and I know I just follow these metaphors. I just love it. So it was like a 90-minute session, and then a 30-day WhatsApp Boxer support, and as a bonus, and a fast action bonus of an extra laser culture session within that time. So, and that was nicely contained in a 30-day introductory offer for $997. So I know, even so, you thought that's a bit on the high end, that.
That's great. I think the reason why I asked you this question, because I want for everyone to reflect on the lesson, which is in your webinar, remember, focus on one thing. You solve one problem in particular. If the outcome is, if what your business right now needs new people that never worked with you, as much as you want to sell your higher ticket or core offer, start with something that is easier to buy for the people that are working with you. Because then by working with you, they can experience you and then buy more as well. So look at what you need the most in your business. Do you already have a network, a list that needs to be leveraged? Go and sell your higher ticket, by no means. But if you need new people coming into your ecosystem or experiencing you for the first time, or that you don't have a relationship with for a long time, then selling an introductory offer actually will make more sense. But there is another question I want to ask you, which is, and then I want to open it up for a few more questions. So now is the time right now when you're starting typing your question, people, because I want to see now some questions in the chat. The final one that I have for you is about, I know that the client, so you had one person that bought straight away, two other conversation that you mentioned that they are ongoing. But the person that bought straight away was someone that you had already an existing relationship with. And when I was having exchanges in voice messages with you, then you mentioned actually you targeted that person. So expand a bit more on that, and how you got that person to attend, where you met that person, and how ended up the conversion and how the conversion ended up happening.
Yeah. So I met her in lockdown. She was running a network, and so I knew her from 2020. But I didn't know her that well. I'd not I'd met her one time in person now, so I kind of kept in touch on and off, very, very little. I met her in person. She invited me. This sounds just quite sneaky, really, but she invited me to a ladies' at lunch, and this is 3.5 hours away. Yeah, a lunch on a Saturday, and I was like, well, I'm working with lawyers, and she's a lawyer, like, so, and I got on with her very well, but she'd invited me, so I thought, well, I go because I need to nurture this relationship. So I went to that lunch, and that was in November 22. And I have to say, I haven't spoken to her that much since. Hadn't spoken to her since then much. A couple of times where I said, let's have a one-to-one, let's have a chat, let's have a catch up. Oh, I'm busy. But she says, yeah, we will. In a couple of weeks, get back to me in a couple of weeks. And then, she was always really busy. And then she says, oh, it's terrible. I'm sorry, I haven't got around to it yet. Then the first masterclass I did, she was like, oh, I can't make it. And then I did the other one. And like you say, I was like, she's still there on my list. She's still a hot lead. So I just went, I'm doing this masterclass. So are you coming? It's on Friday. It's at whatever it was, 2:30. Can you make it this time? And she was like, yes, I actually can. So she came and she bought.
And you send her a private message, right? So you message her private.
Yeah. WhatsApp to you.
So what did you learn from this process? What lesson can you get for everyone else by how this sale happened?
Don't give up on your leads list. Don't give up on those hot leads that you just seem to not be getting anywhere with, because they're still there and they've still got the problem. And when the time's right, they'll buy. I just
Exactly.
happened to get her on my amazing masterclass, and she's in now.
Yeah, absolutely. So and so I have one question from Claudia, which we're going to answer in a moment, but I want to see a few more questions. Okay, that's good. Thank you for Selena for the next one. There is a lot here to unpack, like in terms of lessons on following up. When I talk about webinar, I keep saying this over and over again, it's never one webinar. Your one webinar is not going to make or break your business unless you have a huge audience. You execute a webinar strategy over a 12 months period, and then you'll see the results, the total of the registration, the total of the attendees, the total of the purchases, and so on. And the reason why is because some people that might see you the first time in the presentation, that's where they build a relationship with you, but they may not buy straight away. But now there is people that will come back to the presentation. Maybe they're registered, they're not able to attend, and then you do the next one, and they're registered on the next one, but they're still not able to attend. Not they register on the third one, and now they attend, and now they buy. And so play the long game. Play the long game. If you have conversations with potential clients that maybe didn't buy from you before, when you have a webinar, it's a great way to invite them because they already had a conversation with you. For one reason or another, they didn't buy, didn't go ahead. Maybe it was because of the money, maybe it was the timing, there may be other reasons. But by you reaching out to them, first of all, the message that you are sending out is, I care about you. I care about you as a client, as a person that I want to support. And so that's why the follow-up is important. And some people, I know that I had a few conversations with a few GTeX members in the past few days. It's like, I don't want to be annoying. I don't want to be annoying. So am I sending this message? Am I sending too many emails? No, what you're doing is to provide the option for people to buy. The more option you provide, the more chances they are that the option you provide aligns to where they are. And so remember that outreach, that personal outreach, inviting people personally to the webinar, in particular the hottest leads and clients, potential clients that you have, will make the difference, to the point that someone then attends something, £1,000, boom, on the call straight away, just bought it, right? And so that's how the sale can happen so easy. But it was a sale that took actually not a webinar, but 2 years, if we look at it in the perspectives, right? So as Paula said, don't give up on your clients. Exactly. So let's start with the first question from Claudia, not related to your business, but how F1 became a passion to you.
Well, I've always been into Formula One. I suppose I was in the car industry. My background is in engineering, and I worked at Rolls-Royce and Bentley and Jaguar Land Rover. So even in the 90s, that's what everyone did. You know, we used to even go in, do overtime on a Sunday just to talk about Formula One and then go home and watch it. Don't think we actually did any work, but on Sunday. But yeah, so I was always into it since then. Then it went through a mediocre stage, and then I've got 2 boys, and the youngest one started getting into it, and I was like, oh yeah. So we started watching again, and so yeah, we've been back into it again for a good few years now. So I've even been to a Formula One at Spa in Belgium as well. So yeah, I couldn't be more into it really. Probably more so than my son.
Problem
So
is that she supports.
fast cars. I mean,
That's the problem. Supports the wrong team. That's the problem. She should support Ferrari, but hey, that's another story.
Well, I know, yeah, but what's going to happen? And we won't go there
Yeah,
now.
we get sidetracked. For those of you that don't know, I was born in the city where is the factory of Ferrari. So I was born surrounded by Ferraris and cars and Formula One. So we have a big passion in common here. That's how we connected during that review. I'm like, no, you got
I
to talk.
liked cars since I was 2 anyway. So, well, since as long as I can remember. So I've always liked cars. So.
All right, next session. From Selena, how confident were you when you changed your presentation?
Well, I wasn't really, I have to say, you know, I was like, I was still thinking, is this actually going to work? You know, I'm trusting now this new structure, Simone's structure, like, you know, but I mean, I went with it. I had the support of, you know, everyone in GTeX there. I mean, Nicola is an absolute diamond. If you've not been to one of Nicola's tech sessions, Jesus Christ, she just like you say, she knows her stuff. She's amazing. I just wish I could have one every week with Nicola, but she'd be telling me off. But yeah, Nicola got me all tech prepped and everything. And you know, Simone started off with the webinar review from the WCA thing, and then Caroline's been helping me really on the detail as well of the actual masterclass itself. So I was well supported. You know, did I know if it was going to work or not? I didn't, but I thought, well, it is a great offer. They'd be fools not to take it, you know. It really is a no-brainer. So you know, I had to put it out there, and I thought, well, we'll know once I put it out there whether it's going to work or not.
Yeah, and there is a lot of wisdom in what you said here, which is the confidence. So maybe you were not like when you're testing something new, you never know if it's going to work or not, right? Maybe the presentation might have not worked if they were not the same, that the right people on the presentation. So sometimes not even the presentation, but it's who attends in that moment. But there is one thing that Paula said is like, she believed that the offer was a no-brainer. It's like, oh, this is a great offer. And when you create offers, the beliefs that you have in your own offer is what is going to sell more than anything else. It doesn't matter really the price point, but it's the belief that you have that this is such a great deal for someone, and that energy they're going to feel it. If you're doubting your offer, people will feel your doubt. It's subconscious. is this transfers of energy. So I wanted to stop on this point. We have a question from Kimberly. I'm curious, did you have a team or do you have a team? Kimberly, I'm assuming if you're asking for like a business like team support, not the Formula One team. I'm assuming that.
You see, I'm wearing the team colours now, McLaren. I always wear orange. It's my brand.
All right, yeah, right.
Anyway,
I'm gonna give
I
you
had
a
to
red
go with McLaren when I chose orange as my brand colours. But yeah,
next interview. I'm gonna give you a red jumper for the next interview.
some of the accused me with my orange like suit jacket on. They thought it was red. It's not red. It's orange. Anyway, at least I'm not saying it's papaya. But team, I do have a VA that's doing some cold outreach. Some emails to some US lawyers, and one of them did come to the masterclass, and she is the other one that has been invoiced, and she's getting the money together, and we will be working with each other. So,
all right, so that's that extra sale. So yes, so someone to help with the outreach. That's the other person you had. Which actually links to a question from Dan, which just put in, and then I'm going to go back up, but I think the link is there. Did you test the webinar to your email list first, or paid ads, or both?
did I test the webinar to your email list?
Did you send it to only the warm contacts to your email list, or did you use paid advertisement as well?
No, I didn't do any ads or anything. I just put it as a LinkedIn event and just started putting content out. And I invited all the lawyers that I had on my list to the event. So I think it was 360 that was connected to. I have just invited them all. You know, through the invite thing on the LinkedIn event. I just did it all myself. It was all organic, not paid.
I love what you said here, because if you're on LinkedIn, actually, we have the advanced course LinkedIn Mastery actually next month, and I'm going to focus more on LinkedIn events, because we have been using LinkedIn events even to fill out the summit and to invite people on the webinar, and it has been one of the most successful things that we have done. So I want to talk more about that, and in particular, use LinkedIn events as an additional channel when you're doing your webinars. Will make a big difference. So on first Tuesday, first Friday of the month in March, we have the course LinkedIn Mastery. I'm going to talk more about that. But LinkedIn events, definitely a winner. Let's go from Sorrel. That was a quick one. Is your offer a one-to-one program or a group program?
Oh, the intro offer is at one-to-one. So that, yeah, it was just that one session and the WhatsApp. So yeah, it is one-to-one.
Which is also a lesson, like not to overcomplicate things sometimes. You know, if something simple where you can give people one-to-one plus WhatsApp access for 30 days, require a lot of infrastructure to create and sell. So that simplicity often wins.
Yeah, because I think with the group program, before I'd been trying to sell a group program, and that used to give me anxiety just thinking, oh my God, for a group program, you need a group. What if only one person wants, it was always it gets the wrong kind of vibe going, doesn't it? That you start worrying about filling a group program, whereas this intro offer, it's just one-to-one. So you can get a group going out, the ones that take it up.
Yeah, exactly. Final one from Gary. How did you come to understand lawyer business so well? And then the next question, how much of your webinar presentation revolves around your personal passion of Formula One?
Well, I think, you can, with the second one there anyway, Simone, it's the whole webinar is, it's all, everything is an example from Formula One, and then how it applies in the law firm. So, I show pit stops and everything, especially McLaren being the fastest pit stop ever. I do show a Ferrari one, but that's not in the how not to or anything. But sorry.
Right, answering the other question. How did you come
That's
to?
okay. Yes, no, that's the thing. I used to work with all different types of sectors. So, I mean, there's not a sector I haven't worked with. And for a good while, lawyers weren't coming to me because they're like, oh, well, this is the way we do things and that's just the way we do it and no one can help us. But when they did start coming to me, so they were on my cross-sector programs, I was like, oh my God, they really do need my help because they have no idea how to run a business. So it's only with, starting to work with them and I knowing the need and identifying the need that I thought, well, this is a niche I'm going to get into. And, I like them. They were all right. People say, how can you be working with lawyers? Well, they're okay.
Yeah. Okay, so lawyers are okay. Anyone here with a law background? With a background in law?
I know I was risking a bit there, wasn't
I'm
I?
curious. I'm curious. Put it in the chat. Okay, Paula, to wrap up, what was the biggest lesson that you got from this experience of running this webinar, making sales, something, a lesson that is going to stay with you in the way you're also going to run your business in the future?
Well, apart from following a proven structure, it is just to, just to keep reaching out. Don't that exact thing of don't just think, oh, that person, I've not spoken to them for a year and I'm not sure whether they were really interested. Just pick up their phone and say, hey, I'm doing another webinar. Let's, do you want to go? And just keep reaching out to them, like just keep them in the loop. Because there is one guy that I know needs to work with me, and he knows he needs to work with me, but he still didn't actually make the webinar. And I don't usually send out replays, but Simone said, no, you really should to select people. And I have just sent the replay out to him. So please God, he'll watch it and he'll see the light. So because it's a no-brainer offer. I was trying to sell him like 10K, 20K offers before, and it's crazy. Like, so he won't be able to say no when he sees this offer.
There you go. And this is Paula McNicholas. Give a round of whoops to Paula. And while we are setting up the final activity, so thank you, Paula, and congratulations again. So now while we're setting up the next activity,
Thank
I would
you.
love to spend some time for everyone is just put a keyword that this interview represented for you. So it could be a lesson or a reminder, like a keyword that represents the lessons that you got from this interview, because that's why we do the interview with the GTeX member of the month, because we can learn from each other, we can learn from each other experiences, we can see what other people are doing and how we can make this their strategy our strategy. So we have McLaren orange. Oh my God, Gary.
I have
Passion
my orange heart already there.
from Nicola, metaphors from Sorel, keep it simple and connect to passion from Marky, never give up from Joanne, Lou, hope, Parbesh, persistence, SP, I'm not sure what their SP means. Simplicity is key for many things. From Claudia, Linda, fun, Dory, keep it simple, Dan, your passion makes you unique. So a lot of lessons. So thank you very much, Paula. Congratulations again.
Thank
Uh,
you.
all right, so let me stop
I
here.
can't wait till the season starts.